Hey y'all, Jeremy from the Archeryshack back again to do a review of some Black Eagle arrows. I'm going to go through every one they offer. Believe it or not, we have every one they offer in stock here at the Archeryshack, so if you need any, give us a call or swing by. We'll be happy to get you set up, whether it's custom or the pre-fletched stuff. So we're going to start off with our hunting arrows. We're going to go from standard size down to the smallest size. Then we're going to talk about their traditional arrows, and then we're going to talk about target stuff. So what we'll do is I'll give you all the specs, and then at the end of each arrow, I've got a gauge, a dial over here I brought along. I'm going to spin them just to show you the straightness out of the box. I'll tell you what they advertise and what they actually spec out at. So let's get started. The Black Eagle Outlaw is our most popular arrow. We sell a ton of them. They come in a 6-pack. We also have the big box where you can buy them separately. So let's pull one out and show it to you here. They come pre-fletched from the factory with yellow and red veins, so they look pretty sharp. They're a 5,000th straightness, and we sell a ton of these things. So far, I mean, we've had no issues with these, no issues at all. You can get them with veins for $45.99 per 6, or you can get them with feathers, which we also have in stock, for $49.99 for 6. We have the vein 350s in stock as a single arrow purchase for $7.50 each. So definitely stop by and check these out. They advertise them at a .005 straightness. We'll check that out and see what it comes out to be on our arrow gauge here. Here's a 5,000th Outlaw, checking the straightness. And we'll turn this over to 0. .5,000th Outlaw. Let's see how it spins. That's a full rotation. We're getting about a 2.5 to 3,000th straightness on a 5,000th Outlaw out of the box. That's typically what we're seeing on these. The Outlaws also come in a spine from a 300 spine all the way out to a 700 spine. So we have the majority of spines in stock. We can fit anything from a high poundage compound bow all the way out to a kid's bow or a recurve if you're shooting feathers. The Black Eagle Carnivore is the arrow that I normally recommend for people who want speed. These are lightweight arrows. They're still super tough. Let me pull one out of the box here for you. They come fletched from the factory in red and white, and they're lightweight. So I like these a lot. I've hunted with these, never had any issues. Any of the Black Eagle standard size, or really any arrow that they offer, as far as that goes, you can get a heavier brass insert if you wanted it. But these Carnivores are definitely, they've been around for a while. Good stout, lightweight arrow. You can get them in 1,000ths or 3,000ths straightness. We stock the 3,000ths because every 3,000ths I've spun spins a lot straighter than 3. So I'm not concerned about getting the ones when the 3s are better than advertised. The 1,000ths are $66.99 for 6, and the 3,000ths are $59.99 for 6. We do keep these in stock, so definitely stop by and check them out, or give us a call if we can get you some cut. They come in a 250 through a 400 spine, and again, this is a normal size carbon arrow. We'll put it on our arrow gauge here and see what kind of straightness we get from them. Definitely check out the Carnivore, especially if you're a speed type of person. Here's a 3,000th Carnivore, straight out of the box here. Let's see how it spins. We're getting about a 1,000th reading on this 3,000th Carnivore, right out of the box. The Black Eagle Zombie Slayer, another standard size carbon from Black Eagle. They got this cool yellow, if I can get it out, they got this cool yellow crest on it. Got the Zombie Slayer graphics on it. They come in a 1 or a 3/1000. We stock the 3/1000. Again, the 3 have always spun straighter than 3 from the factory, so I don't really worry about stocking a 1. You get a better savings and still get the straightness that you need. They come fletched with orange and yellow blazer veins, and again, you can order, we actually have them in stock, the heavier brass inserts and stuff like that if you want a lot of front and center. We sell a lot of these. We've actually been selling a lot of these in 500 spine to kids just because of the name and they look cool, Zombie Slayer. They come in a 3 to a 500 spine, a little bit heavier than the other standard size arrows, but had a lot of luck with these. And a 1/1000, these are $68.99, and then the 3/1000 that we keep in stock, they're $59.99. So we can get you a set of these custom made. Just let us know. They come from the factory like this. We can also get bare shafts that do not have this yellow cresting on them and customize them to you. So we're going to put it on the arrow gauge here and see what kind of straightness we get out of a 3/1000 spine arrow here. 3/1000 Zombie Slayer. Let's see how the straightness checks out on it. .3/1000 Zombie Slayer, we're getting 2 to 3/1000 reading on it, so that's perfect. Remember, this, when it says 3/1000, it's plus or minus 3/1000, so a 2 or 3/1000 reading is half of what's advertised. The Black Eagle Spartan. I fell in love with this arrow, and I've actually hunted with it for 2 years because it's a smaller diameter arrow. Let me pull one out here. It's a smaller diameter arrow, but it still takes a standard insert. So I like that a lot. It's a little bit smaller than the Carnivore and the Outlaw size. It's not a 1964, it's an 1864. We keep these in stock in 3/1000. They come from the factory pre-fletched with yellow and orange veins and this custom little pattern for a cresting. I've shot deer with these and had a lot of luck with them. Super tough arrow. I just like that it's a little bit smaller, but you don't have to worry about an outsert or a half out. So pretty slick arrow. They come in 1 and 3/1000. We only stock the 3, but in 1/1000 they're $81.99, and in 3/1000 they're $73.99. So a good arrow. Spines they come in as a 2 to a 500. So definitely something to check out. A very hard hitting arrow, and we stock the 3s because they run truer than 3. So we're going to put it on our arrow tester here right in front of you. We got a gauge here to spin it and see what straightness we get out of the box on one of these. Let's see what happens. Definitely check out the Spartan. A Spartan. This is a 3/1000 Spartan right out of the box. Let's see what kind of a reading we get. Less than 1/1000. Again, this is why I only order typically the 3/1000 when they offer a 3 and a 1, because it's always better from Black Eagle than expected. The Black Eagle Renegade arrows, I'm a big fan of these. We're getting into a smaller 17/64 arrow. The Renegade has a cool yellow cresting that I really like, bright fletching from the factory. It's a .005 straightness, although they spin straighter than that. We keep these in stock. I've hunted with these a few years ago before the Spartan came out. I was shooting these and really liked them, had no issues. It does take a half out. I'll show you that. Let me pop it out of the box here. The half out inserts into, and we'll get up closer, hopefully you can see this. It inserts into the arrow, but then just a little bit of it sticks out. So it's a stainless steel thing, gives you a little more front of center. Not a bad deal. But the Renegades we keep in stock in a 6-pack. They're $55.99, 5/1000 straightness, and really like this arrow. If you're looking for a smaller diameter arrow and don't want to break the bank, that's what I point people toward, the Renegade. We're going to put it on our straightness tester here and see what an advertised .005 arrow actually spins. A 5,000th Renegade, pulling it out of the box. Less than 1,000th. I mean, you don't get any better than that. The Black Eagle Rampage, it's also similar to the Renegade, just a straighter version. They offer them in a 1,000th and a 3,000th. We stock the 3,000th. Good straight, tough arrow. Again, it's a 17/64, a little bit smaller diameter arrow. And we don't stock the 1,000ths, they're $73.99. Of course, we can have them in 2 days. We do stock the 3,000ths, they're $63.99. A 3,000th Rampage, pulling it out of the box. Less than 1,000ths again. 3,000ths rated arrow. These arrows still have a lot of people shooting them. They came out several years ago and people just fell in love with them. So if you're looking for a smaller diameter arrow, check these out. We're going to spin it on our straightness tester and see what this 3,000ths arrow actually checks out at. From Black Eagle, in a small diameter arrow, we've got the Deep Impact. These arrows are very small diameter. Take an outsert. I'll show you here. That slides over the end of the arrow. Hopefully you can see that. That slides over. They come with an aluminum one, but you can also get a stainless steel that's a little heavier. But they're a smaller diameter, and they come in a 300 to a 500 spine. You can get them in 1 or 3,000ths. We stock the 3,000ths here. The 1,000ths are $80.99 and the 3,000ths are $73.99. So folks that come in and want a super small diameter arrow, the Deep Impact is the one I put them on. The cousin to the Deep Impact when we get into the target arrow is the X Impact. We'll talk about that on another segment here. But it's got this cool white cresting, the cool green and white vein. From Black Eagle, in the traditional arrow, we have the Instinct and the Vintage arrow. Let me cut this box open so I can show you. The Vintage is a regular size carbon arrow, takes an insert, has the wood grain finish, and then here's the smaller diameter Instinct. There we go. These arrows are sharp. Here's one with the red, white, and black fletching or cresting. Comes with feathers, of course. These come with the stainless steel outserts that slide on just like the Deep Impact did. Really like these arrows. When they came out about 2 years ago, we ordered them and sold every one we had pretty quick to the traditional people. But it also comes, you can get it in a compound spine, so if you didn't want to shoot it out of a recurve, a compound shooter could shoot it. It has a nice wood grain pattern over the carbon. Super nice colors. I got my notes here on what colors. You can get it in yellow and orange, green and yellow, and red and white. We stock the red and white and the Vintage and the Instinct because I just feel like it looks the most traditional. But we can also get the other colors within 2 days here. So the spines available are a 350 to a 600. We stock the 5 and 600s for traditional folks. But of course we can get the other spines. They're 5,000 straight, but we're going to spin it on our arrow straightener here and see what they actually spin out to be. And they're $51 for 6 shafts, bare shafts, or they're $71 for 6 with feathers. I really like this. We sell them pre-made from the factory, no issues. Looks like they have a right helical. Good arrows, real good arrows. If you're in the traditional market, definitely check out the two. If you like a regular size, get the Vintage. If you like a smaller diameter, these shoot real good. The Instinct is the way to go. So let's check them on the straightness tester. Here's a 5,000th rated Instinct arrow out of the box. Now this arrow does have the wood grain printed down it, so you would think it may be a little sketchy, but check that out. Less than 2 thousandths on a 5 thousandths rated arrow. Again, remember these are rated at plus or minus 5 thousandths, so you're really looking at a 10 thousandths arrow that's running about 2. Also in the Instinct, you can get 6 shafts for $45 or 6 fletch from the factory like we stock here, and they run $61. A little bit cheaper than the Instinct, but a great arrow. Okay guys, I'm going to talk to you about the Black Eagle tournament shafts, the big and small diameter stuff. Let's start with the small diameter stuff. All of these we keep in stock as bare shafts, and then we can custom fletch them, or a lot of people custom fletch them themselves. But we got the X Impacts here. It's a small diameter. Usually we sell them as a field arrow, but we got some folks shooting them for 3D and even hunting with them as far as that goes. You can order break off points that glue in, and you just break them off at the grain you need. They come with nocks. All of these arrows do not come with components. The X Impacts do come with nocks. The rest of these do not. So you'd have to order the tips and everything separately. But the X Impact is a 1,000th straightness arrow. For 6 shafts, they're $87, and you can get them in a 250 through an 1100 spine. So you could shoot them out of a recurve, a compound. You could hunt with them, whatever. Super straight arrows, super tough arrows. A lot of field people around here are shooting these. I'll spin one on our straightness tester just to see what they spin, but usually the dial hardly moves when you check these out. The X Impact, great field arrow from Black Eagle, small diameter. Here's an X Impact right out of the pack. I didn't check any of these beforehand to see how they were going to spin. I'm going to turn this so you can see it better. Right at 1,000th. Perfect. Let's go to the PS. Actually, let's go to the Challenger. The Challenger is a 23 size arrow. It's a pretty tough arrow. It's the more economy version of the 23 arrow. You also have the PS23 that we're going to go to next. This one is a little bit cheaper. So the Challenger, you can get in a 1 or 3 thousandths straightness. We stock them in 3 thousandths, and in 3 thousandths they are $112 a dozen for the shafts. Keep in mind, you also have to buy the tips, the knot bushings, and the nocks. And according to what combination we put together, we can get you a price on those. It's not a ton of money. Coming at 250 through a 400 spine, and a good overall 23 sized arrow. Somebody that wants to get into a fatter arrow for 3D but don't want to spend a lot of money, I always put them on the Challenger. We'll spin it. This is a 3 thousandths arrow, and see what it checks out at. Here's a 3 thousandths Challenger. Just pulled it out of the pack. I'm going to get over here off of the right end. 3 thousandths rated. Right at 1 thousandths. That's great. For a pure carbon Black Eagle 23 size arrow, they have the PS23, the Dan McCarthy series. These, a lot of people are shooting these. We keep them in stock, of course. It's a 1,000 straightness, a 23 series size. Again, you have to buy the tips, knot bushings, and nocks separately. The PS23 they're $156 for a dozen shafts. These are pure carbon, 1,000 super straight. We're going to spin it in a second and see what they measure. I started out shooting these about 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, and then I stepped up to the larger PS27 now. but I had zero issues with these. Really liked them a lot. Still got a lot of people shooting these, so keep this in mind. Let's spin it and see what it does on the straightener. It's PS23 right out of the pack. The dial is barely moving. I would say it's something like, this is a 1,000th arrow. It's not even half of a thousandth that it's moving. In a larger diameter 3D arrow, the PS26 is Black Eagle's all carbon 26 diameter arrow. Again, you have to buy the tip, bushing, and nock separately. Not a big deal, just a few extra bucks. The PS26 we keep in stock as we do the rest of the target arrows. They're $166 for a dozen shafts. Of course, we can split that up into a half dozen. We can fletch them. We can do all that for you. Just give us a call or come by the shop. Let us know what you want. This arrow is what a lot of folks are shooting for the fat diameter 3D shaft. You can get it all the way down to a 400 spine, and I believe up to a 250 spine. So very versatile arrow shaft for 3D or indoor. I'm going to be shooting these this year. Looking forward to it. But they come in 1,000th straightness, and that's it. So we're going to put it on the spinner and see what it checks out to be. Here's a PS26 rated at 1,000th. Pulling it right out of the pack. Again, I mean, maybe a quarter of a thousandth is what the gauge is moving as I spin that arrow. The largest diameter arrow that Black Eagle offers is the PS27, the Super X. These arrows, I've been shooting them for indoor. Here's mine, actually. I've got it fletched up here. We have them in stock. It's a 1,000th straightness arrow. They're $166 a dozen for the shafts. Of course, you buy the tip, nock, bushing, and nock separately. They come in a 300 or a 350 spine. Of course, there's lots of different weight options for the tip to make it spine to your preference, but this arrow is the max diameter arrow that Black Eagle offers in a 27 size, and so far I've been really impressed with it. Great indoor arrow, and we'll be happy to get you a set up. Let's put it on the straightener and see how straight it turns out to be. And the PS27, this is actually, I just grabbed my arrow. Have never put it on here before. Rated at 1,000th. I can't even tell that the gauge is moving. If you could call an arrow perfect, this would be it. Black Eagle's very first max diameter 27 series arrow was the Magnum. They're actually phasing this arrow out since the 27 came out. We still have a few in stock. I wanted to mention it because I knew I'd probably get questions about it. Black Eagle only has it in the stiffer spines, like the 250, 300 spines right now. So once they're out, they're out. I just thought I would mention it. We have a few in stock, a few components left. But I shot these for 2 years and loved them. And just wanted to mention it. I'm sure some of y'all still are shooting them. Still a good arrow. Just Black Eagle's phasing them out and phasing in the PS27. So as always, let us know if you need anything. Stop by the shop. If you're not local, give us a call at 864-735-8484. You can email us at archeryshack@gmail.com. We'll be happy to cut or custom build any of these hunting or target arrows for you, get you a price quote. We can put on custom wraps. We have a ton of different fletchings, from boning, AAE, all sorts of stuff. We can customize anything you want, different tips, different insert weights. Give us a call, let us know how we can help you. Thanks for watching our videos here, and stay tuned because we'll have more coming out soon. Thank you.